In today's episode, I'm going to be debunking the biggest myth in gardening history. Yes, that is soil amendments. Do you need them? Do you not need them? What happens when you don't use them? Do you really need to buy everything under the sun, stick it in the ground to make your plant big and strong before it hits your native soil? Because if you don't, your plant's going to die. Well, guess what? That's exactly what I'm going to be discussing today. I'm going to be showing you all my plants that I have in the ground that I use no soil amendments in. We're going to be discussing the soils. We're going to be discussing how they work, how they do not work, and most importantly, we're going to be using a lot of common sense. Because in gardening, if you use common sense, you can debunk anything out there. All the myths just go down the drain. So if you want to open your eyes and think outside the box and stop buying into all this brainwashing out there, keep on watching. All right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and get started where it all started, the beginning of everything. At a time where I didn't know what I was doing, and just like you, I went online to do research, to inform myself on how to have a green thumb, how to be a better gardener. And I don't know if you notice or not, but everything that you see online, there's people pushing, there are people out there pushing all kinds of stuff for you to buy to stick in the ground. I didn't know anything better, so guess what I did? I bought everything that I could find and I put it in the ground, thinking that was gonna make my plants strong and big so they didn't die in my native crappy soil. So let's go ahead and look at them now and compare them to other plants that I didn't do anything on. After I opened my eyes, after I realized how easy gardening is, and I actually went outside the matrix, against the grain, and actually thought for myself and learned over time how plants actually work. And that's exactly what I'm going to be talking to you about today. This is a Violet de Bordeaux right there, Tiger Panache. Anyways, when I first put these trees in the ground, I dug the biggest holes you can find anywhere. It took me days to dig these holes because bigger holes make for a better planting experience and it makes your plants easier to grow, right? Well, yes, I did that, and on top of that, I bought everything under the sun. All the soil amendments you can think of. I put all kinds of poops in there. I got bat poop in there, I got worm poop in there, I got roly-poly poop in there, I got everything poop in there. And then on top of that, I got mycorrhiza, I got all kinds of different strains out there. Everything that I can find, I just dump it in there. And then on top of that, guess what? I use fish emulsion, different kinds, and on top of that, I foliar fed the trees. I can tell you, I still remember how much I spent to this day in soil amendments per plant. About $75. That was 2016 when I planted this fix right here. Now, do the fix look nice? Yeah, they look cool. They look healthy. They're growing. We actually pruned them back several feet. But now, let's go ahead and look at the soil and what it looks like now. This is my soil right here. It's clay. Let's look closer. This is my soil. It is clay. So where did all the soil amendment go? Well, let's go ahead and talk about that. Anytime you put organic material in the soil, your plant's not gonna eat that directly. What you're actually feeding is gonna be the living organisms in the soil. They will eat that up, and then slowly, over time, they will poop and releasing all these nutrients into the soil. And then as long as you water the soil, then your plant is gonna be able to eat those nutrients. Let me make something very clear for you. Even if your soil had no nutrients in the soil, 0 nutrients, and you stuck your plant in the ground, it will take months and months, if not over a year, for your plant to start showing deficiencies. So just because you put asomite in the soil, you put mycorrhiza in the soil, worm castings, bat poop, whatever amendment people tell you to put in the ground, that is not going to do anything for your plant at the time of planting. That is not going to make your plants grow faster. That's not going to make your plants grow slower. You're actually just feeding the living organisms in the soil. You know what's actually more important than any soil amendment that you put in the ground? That is going to be water. Because when you water your plant is going to be able to eat. But not only your plant, everything else in the soil. Everybody gets fixated with soil amendments. wasting all kinds of money into junk that you put in the ground, but everybody forgets about what's most essential, and that is water. In my opinion, water is about 95 to 99% of the work that you need to put in order to keep your plant alive after planting. 95 to 99%. Everything else is either going to be shade or some type of winter care protection. Soil amendments in the soil are not going to do anything for your plant. Is it a good thing to put it in the ground? Yes, but it's not going to make your plant or break your plant. I can guarantee you that. So let's go ahead and get started with my gardening tour to show you all the plants that are stuck in the ground in my nasty, crappy soil that is not supposed to grow anything in. This right here is a sweet cheese plant. It was planted in the ground, I think about a year and a half. Yes, about a year and a half ago. Planted in native soil. It's growing, looking beautiful. Just now it started rooting itself in the ground, and look at it, it's growing. And guess what I do? All I do is water. Look at my soil. Nothing. My soil is clay, it's nasty, according to everybody's standards out there, especially the ones pushing you to buy all kinds of junk to put in the soil, because otherwise your plants are gonna die. This right here, this is an Okinawa spinach, planting in native soil, doing amazing. All I do is water. This is my rainbow eucalyptus right here, planted in native soil. All I do is just water. And guess what? It's growing. It's freaking huge. About 25, 30 feet tall. Well, my bananas look like crap because they're just waking up. But guess what? They're planted in native soil. This is my praying hands bananas. You guys have seen it before, so you know what it looks like in my previous videos. Just now they're waking up. Video on this one coming up. This is my green asper, giant asper. Look at it, amazing looking. One of the biggest bamboo plants you're gonna find here. Huge culms, look at that. Planted in native soil, crappy soil that should not grow anything in. Wooden belly bamboo right here, planted in native soil. No issues at all. Crappy, nasty soil. Nothing should grow in this nasty soil right here. Texas Martin Laurel. This one gives you purple flowers. Planted in native soil, no issues. I forgot what variety banana this is. They're just waking up. I think it's a Rajapuri. Native soil, no issues. Just starting to wake up. Another banana over here. I forgot the variety. But guess what? Growing. Native soil, no issues at all. And look, I'm even getting suckers coming up. Native crappy soil. Angel trumpet back here. This one gives you one of the nicest purple flowers you're gonna find everywhere. Growing in native soil, no issues. You guys seen all my citrus in the ground. All my citrus are planted in native soil, clay soil, growing just fine. Here is my sapodilla, sapote, chiku. About, I don't know, 12 feet tall. You guys see me do a video on this one before. Planted in native soil, no issues at all. All I do is just water. Sugarcane, just coming back. Planted in native soil, clay soil, crappy soil. It used to take 6 days for the soil to drain the water because it was so hard, compacted soil that hadn't seen water in years. Another sapodilla, chiku right here, growing in native soil. You can see new growth coming up. New growth right there. Guess what? Not a drop of fish emulsion on this plant right here, and my plant is growing. Suriname cherry right here. This is a chamba variety. It gives you the red fruits. Look how big it is. It's been in the ground for a few years. Planted in native soil. All I do is water. This is a lemon guava right here. Planted in native soil. Look, I got fruits. It's been in the ground for about a year and a half now. Just now it started to grow. This one takes a while to take off. Silk floss tree. Planted in native soil. You guys seen this tree before? Growing amazing. Huge. Beautiful tree. Native soil. Hong Kong orchid tree right here. Native soil. Fruit punch mango. It's been in the ground, I don't know, I lost count, 5 years maybe. Look all the amazing new growth on it. Looking beautiful, pushing growth. It actually flushed twice. That is not normal for my area. Normally I only get one flush in the spring and then another flush in the fall. But guess what? Since the night temperatures have been cooler than normal, it seems to like it. And it's flushed twice already. This one I screwed up last winter and I lost about 25% of the canopy. Link in the description of the video if you want to see what happened on this one. But guess what? Planted in native crappy soil. Nothing should grow in the soil. Look at the soil right here, guys. It's so nasty. It should kill my plant immediately. Look at that. Crappy soil. And you know what my pH is in here? When I planted that tree, it was like 8.2 or 8.4 pH. Oh my God, but you gotta put sulfur in the soil because otherwise your mango trees are gonna die. You gotta put tons of sulfur. Well, guess what? I did not put sulfur in the ground. And this tree has been in the ground for 5 years. Growing just fine. This is a bacon avocado right here. Doing okay. A little small for the time that it's been in the ground. It's been in the ground for a few years. But guess what? This tree right here taught me that avocado plants need direct sunlight in order to grow in my area. They cannot be in full shade because they're just not going to grow. They're heat sensitive. Video on avocados coming in the future. But guess what? Native soil, no issues. Oh, but you got a bunch of mulch in the ground. Mulch is just keeping everything looking amazing and, you know, feeding your plant. Come on, get out of here. Look what's underneath here. Look, this is a soil that's under. This is clay. Yes, the mulch is great for the living organisms in the soil because they live on the first few inches of the soil. It's going to keep them alive. It's going to keep the soil moist so they don't die. So yeah, it's good. But guess what? This mulch did not make or break this plant right here. And I did not use any soil amendment there. Monastery bamboo. A lot of you guys are not familiar with this variety right here. Planted in native soil. Looking amazing. Look at that. Look. One of my favorite varieties. Video on this one coming up soon. But it's about 20 feet tall. I don't know, 30 feet maybe. It's only been in the ground for a few years. Wooden belly bamboo, another one right here. I got a variegated and a regular green. Does it look like it's lacking nutrients? Planted in native soil. This crappy soil. And guess what? I got all this without any fish emulsion or sulfur in the soil. Manzano, apple, banana, just coming back from the winter. I got a flower coming up over there. Maybe you can see it, maybe not. Planted in native soil. No issues. Perfume tree, Michela alba. One of the nicest trees you will ever have in your yard. Amazing, fragrant flowers. Planted in native soil. Let me show you. Look, native soil, crap soil. I don't know how my plant's able to live in this soil without soil amendments. Another mango right here, Hatcher mango. It's been in the ground for a few years. Planted in native soil. No issues at all. Look, I even got little mangoes coming up in there. Little mangoes everywhere. And all I do is just water. Ice cream bean tree, planted in native soil. It's a little too shaded. Otherwise it'll be a lot bigger. But right now it's probably about 12, 15 feet tall. Native soil, no issues. Loquat, planted in native soil, no issues at all. Black Timor bamboo, planted in native soil, no issues at all. It's a little too shaded, but guess what? It's growing. Pomegranates are bulletproof. They don't count. Vexeter, false jabuticaba. Technically, I did not plant this, guys. They planted themselves. They're rooted in the ground through the container. They're growing in 8.2 pH right here. Native soil. And they have been for many years now. That's the only reason why they are still here, because if I move them, they will die because their roots are so sensitive. Giant granadilla. Planted in native soil. I was so lazy and my soil was so hard when I first put this plant in the ground. I used a pickaxe and I just dug a little hole, actually all the way here. And I stuck like a little 4-inch pot in here. And then I hardly ever watered it. I forgot about it. And then one day I saw the vine actually hanging down from my pine tree. And you can see it's all the way up my pine tree, covered in the entire canopy on the top. Giant granadilla. This is a yellow one. They're not supposed to grow here in the desert. But guess what? I got it growing in my crappy native soil with no soil amendments. Another mango right here. This is a Kathy mango. Beautiful growth. No soil amendment. Oh my God, crunchy leaves. I must be deficient in iron. I gotta go get some iron and stick it in the ground so that way I don't get crunchy leaves. Okay guys, common sense. These are aphid damage and they only damage the new growth on your mango tree leaves. Not iron. This is normal. Get used to it. Plants are not perfect, just like you. Another pomegranate, they don't count. The star fruit, planted in native soil, growing, new growth everywhere. All I do is water. Gurumichama. Yes, Gurumichama. This is a very rare, hard to find tree. Planted in native soil. Okay, so this one is not looking its best because it went dry on me many times because I was hang watering. Just now I put automatic irrigation in here, so it should come back. It's been in the ground for about, I would say, 1.5 to 2 years now. And since I put my automatic irrigation and the plant's not relying on me to water it, I'm starting to get new growth. Look at that. Planted in my native crappy clay soil. Longan. Big huge longan right here. It's been in the ground 1.5 years, maybe 2 years. I lost count, I don't know. But guess what? It's flowering right now and setting fruit. Planted in native soil. Pitomba, another rare Brazilian cherry plant. Growing in native soil. Yes, native soil. And all I do is just water. You guys see my Shangri-La. I don't have to say anything about this one. Persimmon, native soil, no issues. Fig trees, native soil, no issues. Day palm, the first video I ever posted on YouTube. I guess you can call it this an update video. I got another one coming up soon. But guess what? Growing just fine. Actually, I think I used soil amendments on that one. I don't even remember. I think I have some stuff left over and I was just throwing it in there. Anyways, it's one of my first videos on YouTube. You can watch it to see what I actually did. Pakistan mulberry, native soil. Jujube, honey jar jujube. I transplanted this poor guy twice. In native soil, growing just fine. Loquat, sunburst bamboo. Golden Hawaiian bamboo. Ladyfinger bananas, just waking up. Bowman red guavas. Goldfinger, Orinoco, Puerto Rican plantains. Native soil. I just got done watering. You can see it's all wet in here. Giant timber, all hammy. Look at that beast over there. Coming up to the 1.5 years already, 30 feet tall. Native soil. Ruby red grapefruit, native soil. Incense, passion fruit, native soil. Honeysuckle, native soil. Sweet bay leaf. This tree is not even 3 years old. Look at it. Planted from a small 3-gallon. Native soil, no issues. Grapes, native soil, no issues. Another star fruit, native soil. Orange tree, native soil. Oh, look who's over here. Somebody wants to say hi. But anyways, apple, native soil. Now this one got a little top heavy this year. I should have pruned it. So the wind got to it and guess what? The branch broke. Curry leaf tree, huge. Native soil. Native soil, guys. Next to it, I got a lime tree. Next to it, I have a Wumpy. Native soil, relative to the citrus. Amazing fruits, extremely rare tree. You will not see it anywhere else but here at QC Tropicals. Video on this one coming up. Native soil. You guys see my spinach tree, chaya, native soil. Yerba mate, flowering right now, native soil. Sugarcane, native soil. You guys see my mandarins right here. I got videos on them. Daisy and Morcut. Back over here, I got a Eureka lemon, native soil. There was a big lemon over here shading everything. So I took the lemon down, unfortunately. But now these guys are getting sun. Giant passion fruit over there, not supposed to grow in my area. Well, guess what? Native soil. My Panama red passion fruit over here. Look, native soil, crappy soil. Cecropia tree right here. You can call this an update. I don't know. I forgot how long ago I planted it. It actually took frost damage last year. All I did was just throw what do you call it? Frost cloth over it, and then it made it. It did take some damage, but guess what? It's coming back looking great. Apparently this plant is not as sensitive as I thought it was. Planted in native soil. The famous ice cream bananas right here, also known as blue Java. Gardening myth coming up on this one. Guess what? They're not blue and they don't taste like ice cream. Anyways, guys, this video is getting too long. I think by now you got the point. And that point is that I would say 98% of my trees that I have in the ground, I did not use soil amendment. And everything is growing in my native soil. Now, some of you non-believers out there are going to be saying that my soil was rich to begin with. My soil was amazing, and that's the only reason why my trees are growing. Well, I can tell you otherwise. When I first moved into this property, my soil was so hard, it took 6 days for the water to drain. It took me just 2 days to dig a hole because I had to pre-soak it several times just to be able to get down about a foot to 2 feet. My soil was crap soil. But you know what actually made it rich over the years? Water. Water, guys. Like I said before, 95 to 99% of the work when planting trees in the ground, it's always going to be water related. If you have no water, you have nothing, and your trees are going to die regardless of how much junk you put in the soil. I want you to think outside the box. I want you to open your eyes and think. Use common sense. If people are telling you you need stuff in the soil for your plants to grow, I can tell you honestly, that is a lie. Because as soon as your plants grow in your native soil, which they are going to, what do you think is going to happen? If your native soil is so bad that if you didn't replace that entire area with amended soil, your plants are going to die. Well, guess what? Yeah, your plants are going to die. You do not need soil amendments in order to plant anything in the ground. Unless your soil is contaminated with chemicals or some other stuff that people, humans, put in that soil, then your plant should be able to grow. That's not even the whole list of all the trees that I have in the ground. But I can tell you one thing, and I want you to think about this one. And that is, if plants were this hard to grow, that you needed to buy all kinds of junk in order for them to grow successfully, do you think we will have all these plants all around us? If plants were this hard to grow, do you think there will be any plants around us? No, there wouldn't, guys. Everything will be dead. And probably you and I will be dead too. Plants are very easy to grow. Now, some plants have a specific growing requirements, others do not. And that's what I try to do in this channel. I try to give you the full picture. I try to be as honest as possible and as clear as possible. And I never push any products because you don't need any of them. Guys, I have a nursery. I sell stuff here. I like money, just like you do. But guess what? I also like being honest more than money. And that's the reason why I never push for any products, because I know my customers do not need those products in order to be successful. If your plant is not looking its best, I can guarantee you over 90% of the time it's going to be water related. I got videos talking just about that. It's not always about sulfur. It's not always about fish emulsion. It's not always about iron and all that BS that people are telling you out there. Most people are brainwashed into thinking that you need to buy something in order to be successful or something else. But anyways, hopefully this opens your eyes. I just want to be as honest as possible with you guys. And hopefully you get the point of this video. And that is, concentrate on water first. Concentrate on the specific growing requirements for your plant. And then if you want to add anything else, go ahead. But I can tell you it's not needed. It's not going to make or break your plants. I promise you that, because I don't do anything. And you guys see my plants in my videos, and they all, most times, look amazing. You see this apricot right here, guys? I could have sprayed this tree in the wintertime when it looked dead with some magical juice. Made a specific video about this magical juice concoction and sprayed this tree. And then I could have waited until this tree fruited like this, and then told you that the reason why it's fruiting like this is because of the magical juice I sprayed on it during the winter time. And I can tell you, over 90% of you watching my videos right now would have believed that. And it would have gotten you so excited to the point where you probably would have purchased that magical juice from me. into thinking that you can get the same results simply by spraying some stuff on your tree. But I don't do that because that is not me. But I can tell you, most of the gardening industry is going to be just like that. The only reason this tree looks like this is simply because I water correctly, and my night temperatures actually stay colder than normal this year, so a lot of my fruits remain on the tree and they didn't get too big too fast and they didn't drop. That is the only reason. This does not happen every single year. I actually thought that I had less fruits than this, but apparently I had more than I thought. But a lot of them don't really taste that good, and a lot of them are not ripening evenly simply because it was a lot cooler at night for a lot longer than normal. But you can see how easy it is to manipulate people, how easy it is to manipulate you with just the right words and the right videos just to push that misinformation out there. That is what gardening is all about, guys. It is all about money. It's not about you being successful. There are people out there that don't want you to be self-reliant. They don't want you to be successful. What they want from you is your money and nothing else but your money. And keep brainwashing you into thinking you need to spend money in order to be successful. That is a lie. Gardening is extremely easy. But anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. As usual, don't forget to like it so more people can see what true gardening is about. Videos like this do not get recommended as often as other ones pushing products for people to buy. Simply because, well, money is what runs the world, okay? So it's not gonna get as recommended as other videos where people are trying to push for other people to buy stuff. Anyways, if you have any questions, comment below. And as always, I will see you next time.